Here we are, the second game of the day for the Go for Dota Friday Night Cup. I'm NYJohn, your shoutcasting host, and thank you to everyone who's tuned in and who has been with us since game one. Now we have Team QT versus Extreme Dota. Extreme Dota pulling out that win in less than 50 minutes last game in an interesting manner, coming back from being pretty behind early on in the game. A very mobile Riki Maru made life difficult for a lot of the heroes in Extreme Dota, but Extreme Dota persevered on the back of Templar Assassin play that was really well executed, and we can see bans already coming out right now. So let's check out who is out. We see Darkseer as well as Nature's Prophet and Nagasaran taken out by the Dire team QT. And for the Radiant, they're going to take out Enigma, Lycan, and Broodmother. So pretty standard bans thus far. Enigma yet again. Extreme Dota do not like playing against Enigma. And Extreme Dota pick up Ruik with their first selection. That leaves Chen and Invoker in the pool. There's also Lone Druid available if they want to go for that. So we'll see what QT want to respond with. And QT, the couple times I've seen them love aggression. Here it is, a Leshrac pick is going to be right away, plus Lone Druid. And this is going to spell for a very interesting early game, in my opinion. Now 2 picks for Extreme Dota. What do they want to go for with these 2 selections? Rubik is a pretty open hero, of course. You can play him in both capacities. Last game, we did see him use the support in tri-lane. He got a little bit of farm up and did a good job of getting off the Ravages. He was stealing them, but not much he could do. His team was just a little bit far behind in those team fights. Just not enough control going on, but we'll see how he executes in this one. Now, 2 more picks. They could go for a jungler here. If they wanted the Chen, the Enchantress. There's also Invoker available. Invoker's a dangerous hero to leave in the pool for a team like QT that already has a lot of aggressive pushing options because of the fact that an Exort Invoker can be pretty much a part of ganks that he is not in. So if they're running an aggressive tri-lane, which I'm not sure they're doing quite yet, it could be troublesome. But now Templar Assassin is going to be picked up by QT as Extreme Dota pick up Windrunner and Chaos Knight. So they get a side lane solo as well as a very strong early aggressive hero in Chaos Knight. And Templar Assassin the immediate response. So we will see TA for the second game in a row. And now we're going to go into the second banning phase. See who people want to take out.
Dire team. Radiant team ban.
And it's going to be a Venomancer ban, followed up by a Sand King ban, and now we're waiting on Extreme Dota for their final ban here. So they want to take out the big initiators. Not a bad idea. Tide is still in the pool. We still have Earthshaker in the pool as well. So both are decent options for them. If that's the route they want to go, they could also take out junglers. I mean, Enchantress would be really strong on QT's lineup. If they put an aggressive tri-lane with Lone Druid, Leshrac, and Enchantress, they'll be taking down towers very quickly. I know a lot of teams don't really look for that, but that is something you see sometimes in the professional scene. The aggressive tri-lanes with Lone Druid can mow down a lane and get things going for you really early. So we'll see if they want to take out that jungler. Meanwhile, QT are probably going to look to take out the Ancient Apparition just so the easy combo isn't there for Chaos Knight after banning phase ends. And it's going to be tied, so they take out another Initiator. They don't want to have to deal with the Ravage. And they're going to take out Queen of Pain. So QT leave Ancient Apparition in the pool. This is very well could be a Chaos Knight A middle, if that's what they want to opt for. We could see Tinker again as well. He is still available for either team. But Shadow Demon instead is going to be picked up by the Radiant Extreme Dota. I love Shadow Demon as a support hero. And now QT with their 4th selection are going to pick up Lina. So interesting choice. Lina, of course, very powerful hero, often underutilized. A lot of people like her against aggressive pushing lineups as well as with your own aggressive lineup. So if you want to go super aggressive, she has a ton of damage, of course, at level 2. And if you could set up her stun properly, it's going to be very strong. So we'll see what they're going to pick up with the last selection. Lone Druid could be the long lane. Templar Assassin could be middle. Then they want to put something with Lina and Leshrac.
5 seconds remaining.
Interesting setup. Morphling is still in the pool. Either team could very well opt for a Morphling here. He is that powerful hero that fits into most lineups pretty easily and seamlessly. So they're going to go into the reserve time, dipping down below 45 seconds now. Once again, thanks to everyone who is tuning in. I'm NYJohn from GoForDota.com. This is the Friday night Dota Cup. Go check out GoForDota.com. Sign up now. I'm begging you for the Saturday Night Cup as well as the Sunday Night Cup. I will definitely be casting tomorrow, albeit maybe a little bit tired, as I am going to play some Guild Wars tonight. And I know most of you will be too. But make sure at 2 p.m. Eastern, 20 CEST tomorrow, you take a break, order a pizza, and tune in for some nice Go for Dota Saturday night action. And now Chen going to be the final pickup for the Radiant team, so they want the jungler again. A good pickup, I'd say. So it looks like Chaos Knight, Shadow Demon could be middle, Rubik could be solo bottom, Windrunner top. If that's how they want to go, they could also put Chaos Knight bottom if they want Rubik to go for the middle. So a little bit of flexibility here, and then Sven. So a very aggressive tri-lane coming out from QT, and now it is blatant. And we're going to see if perhaps the Radiant team are going to try and do anything to try and cope with this, because Chaos Knight, it's one thing to have him have a slow start, not being able to pick up the kills, but it's an entirely different thing when he has the aggression put on him in a huge way like QT are looking to do here. So we'll see who is able to execute their will and get a lead in the early game. But keep in mind, after last game, nothing is sacred after the early game. And so for Team QT, we'll go over who's playing what. We have Az playing the Leshrac. Rixu's going to be on top of the Lina. We have Zog playing Lone Druid. Fugol playing Templar Assassin. And that leaves Muzz on Sven. Meanwhile, for the Radiant team, Extreme Dota, the team we followed for last game, we have Ice Lumpen on Rubik. 2D playing Chen. Ecto playing the Windrunner. Man-L playing the Chaos Knight. And Headhunter playing his Shadow Demon. So a little bit of a role switch after the last game. It looks like Man-L transitioning from support to more of a engaged carry role on the Chaos Knight, while Headhunter is going to be a support on the Shadow Demon. And a smoke up early on, and five-man Dota. They may very well collide down here. And it looks like, I'm not sure who will get the better of this engagement. About 3 stuns coming out from the Dire team. The smoke is going to be broken here. They know they're here. Ice Lemon going to look for, oh, he's Fable level, and he doesn't have telekinesis. And now Fugu going to pop off Refraction, jump in the middle. They pop off Disruption on Man-L to try and create illusions and save him from a little bit of damage. Muzz taking some damage. The Splitter comes out. It's only going to hit illusions, though. Nothing too big, and now Fugu is going to turn around and get back into it. Not all too much mana. A Light Strike Array is available. It's going to hit on top of Headhunter and Ecto, but nobody has died yet here. And this is a huge split on top of Escalon, but he's dropping low. Can they get a couple more attacks on Rinks, who's going to drop, though? The first blood is picked up by Lone Druid on Rubik, but in quick succession, Lina is taken down, and now Sven's going to drop. And Chen's going to drop. And now the disruption is going to be put on top of Az as he tries to continue forward aggressively. And a huge team fight at level 1. Fuglos is going to back up, and Az needs to try and make it up with a power shot to finish him off. And down he goes. And I'm not even sure who got the 3-2. It's going to be in favor of Extreme Dota. A level 1 fight like no other. 3-for-2 exchange. And now Headhunter's going to walk right into Az with that haster and a little bit overconfident. Takes too much damage. And we'll have to pop out that salve momentarily down here. And that is definitely one way to counteract the plan of an aggressive tri-lane, is to meet them in the jungle and just full-on battle them. And that was crazy. And let me switch off my overlay as we have a pause coming out here. Once again, thank you for joining me. I'm NYJohn. This is Go for Dota Friday Night Cup. I know you're probably getting tired of hearing that, but I do like saying it, so we have to try and find our middle ground somewhere. And I would like to remind you, if you enjoy my cast, please follow me here on Twitch. This is all the support I can get. I appreciate, and you'll be notified of the cups like tomorrow and Sunday, as well as follow me on or subscribe me on YouTube. You can find that link in my info as the game is about to resume, so don't waste too much time. And here we go, back into it. Az is going to come forward pretty aggressively. Muzz has enough mana for a stun as well. So Sven going to look for an opening here. And the only way this aggressive tri-lane wins is if they pick up kills, and they can't be trading too often either, especially against 2 heroes. Chen can rotate in, and it's still going to be a little bit difficult. Courier's going to come out here and deliver just a salve, it looks like. And Fugel should have a pretty decent time here against this Rubik in the middle lane. I believe I discussed it as a possibility last time. Rubik versus Templar Assassin. I feel like it favors Templar Assassin, even if it is a little bit slight. It's going to be difficult for Templar Assassin to land kills on him necessarily because of telekinesis, but Templar Assassin can definitely get her farm. Let's put on our lessons and denies up here. We see 5 for 4 for Leshrac, so he's doing a good job. He's getting the farm on the bottom, which is a little bit interesting. They don't want to put on Sven. But Leshrac definitely a good beneficiary to give that farm towards. And now we see Headhunter. He's going to back off here. Rixu's going to run into him. He's going to look for it. The Light Strike away. He's going to hit. Can they set it up? The stun's going to hit on Manel as well, as a little bit far behind. He's trying to get in range. He's going to pop off the Edict instead, and perhaps the Split Earth is going to miss on both. He tries to split the difference and unable to do so. Headhunter drops pretty low, but now he's under his tower. Light Strike away is going to catch Manel, though, and the Edict is popping off, dealing a little bit of damage. Both heroes are going to drop relatively low, but they should be safe as QT are forced to back up. Try and regain some mana and do it again. And too many level 1 on Lina definitely affects her damage output. The level 1 Dragon Slave does 100 damage, 8.5 second cooldown as well. That could have been a difference maker to try and help them pick off that Shadow Demon. Meanwhile, on the top lane, we haven't looked up here much, if at all. Ecto's going to be matched up against Zog. So Lone Druid versus Windrunner. Not the easiest match for either party.
Double damage.
And I think the fact is that Lone Druid has more to gain from getting the farm on him, so it's probably going to be slightly in favor of him in that regard. And we do see Lone Druid CS is 8 for 3, while Windrunner is 1 for 3, so she has been pushed out of this lane by the bear pretty effectively. Now Rixu picks up a double damage. She's going to put off the Light Strike array on top of Headhunter. Headhunter taking a ton of damage with the Split Earth, misses yet again, and Rixu's getting hit by the Chen. Az is going to take ticks from the tower. Oh, and Az is going to make it out with just a little bit of help to spare. Chen coming in from the side may have very well saved him again. Getting off that net with the Dark Troll Warlord. He almost finished off Rixu as well, as we can see him as 19 health. And let's check out our middle lane battle. Templar Assassin 10 for 3 against 7 for 1 on Rubik. So oddly enough, the best CS right now is going to be on Az, who is playing that Leshrac in the tri lane. And that is not something you see all too often, if at all. Tri lane taking lead in CS department. So, not much action going on right now. It looks like every team is just trying to find their footing. 3-3 is the total. So, Shadow Demon did go down once. Fugel in the middle lane does have his bottle up. So does Lumpin. So, they're even in that regard. Gold on top of bottle. It looks like Templar Assassin has a slight edge with 5 CS advantage and 1 assist. Meanwhile, Rubik does have 1 death, so I guess that explains the slight edge, but it is ever so tiny. And now the bear going to take some damage. It would be nice if Ecto could finish him off here, but it doesn't look like he's going to overextend for it. He is only 6 for 5, so Lone Druid is definitely winning this lane decisively. 18 for 8 against 7 for 5. This is a little bit less than what Windrunner want to be at. Maybe around 12 CS is where she should be. Then again, the bear is definitely putting on a lot of pressure. And now in the river, they're going to spot off Lumpin. And Chen's going to pop off his war cry. But they're going to back up. They don't want to try and fight him there. 4 heroes converging. It could have been a little bit messy. And I'm not sure they would have ever caught up to him either. Now, Headhunter and Manel are forced to stay back really far. They're not getting too much experience from this creep wave. Level 3 on both of them. Meanwhile, we see level 4 on Sven, level 4 on Leshrac. So we're getting out-leveled by Tri-Lane. That is another nice victory for QT. So that's something you cannot have happen, especially with these heroes that scale so well damage-wise with levels. Leshrac becomes so much more instrumental, able to output a lot more damage with those levels in the Edict as well as the Split Earth. Same can be said about Sven getting up the levels on his Stormhammer. 75 more damage per level. Mana course does not increase, so it's a pretty solid choice to level up. Headhunter and Manel going to back up, though. They have this ward spotting them off. They have wards on top of each other right here by the bottom rune. So they're not going to risk anything as Chen isn't near them in the jungle rotation either. Meanwhile, we see Lumpin's going to come towards top. And the bear's going to spot him off. So Lumpin, a failed gank attempt, is going to give Templar Assassin even more time to farm here. And now 28 to 8 is Templar Assassin CS against 13 for 2 on this Rubik. So it looks like 3 lanes are being won by QT right now. In terms of CS, it's even on kills, so we can't judge it on that basis. And now Fugel going to put damage on Lumpin. He pops up the Cynac Trap. Could this be a kill here? His refraction is up. A couple more hits should do the job. And Lumpin trying to bottle up as quickly as possible. Fugel not going to go for the dive. And Chen sends him back to the base, so he will be safe. Fugel getting close, though, to getting that kill off. The Fable just taking away enough damage to keep him safe for the bottle charges to get him back up in health. And Zog on the top lane. His bear is now definitely pushing him off with the threat of Entangle. Windrunner can't do much about it now, and that's why getting the good start early is very important. And Riksu, meanwhile, is going to get caught off here. He's going to be stunned off by Manel. Manel needs one more hit to finish him off. Down he goes. Meanwhile, it's turned around, though. Headhunter's going to drop. Lumpin's in trouble. He's going to go down. Oh, no, he still has one more tick of health, and he's bottling up yet again, but the stun is going to be available in a couple seconds. Here it goes. Down goes Lumpin, and now Manel is going to jump on top of Leshrac. Down he goes. Muz is going to try and retreat here. He jumps into the jungle, eats off a tree, puts a stun on 2D. It doesn't hit on both, unfortunately, and it looks like he may drop in the long run. Is there a test of fate? No, there isn't for another 10 seconds. Manel is faster than him, though, and the reality Earth pulls him back. Riksu gets a light strike away on 2 heroes, but doesn't want to follow up as Headhunter makes his way back in, and Riksu could have been in trouble there if he tried to put any more others, so good thing he backed up. And now the kill lead back in favor of Extreme Dota, 6-5, still ever so slight. Lumpin has that middle hero, Rubik 0 for 2, not even level 6 yet. So let's check out our hero levels, as I believe this is very important right now. We see 7, 7, 7, so Windrunner, Lone Druid, and Templar Assassin all at level 7, but a solo middle hero in Rubik is level 5. That's going to be a concern. If they're able to pick up more kills and keep him down in levels like that, he's going to be in a bad place, and it's not like Fugel is getting any weaker now. With the phase boots up on Templar Assassin as well, 700 gold in the bank, he's going to have full rune control because Cynac Traps are just too threatening for Rubik to go for. And he's going to get a regen here. And he could try and assert himself in the jungle. He could probably even look for a dive on Lumpin if the timing is right. Fable is popped off right now, so perhaps an opportunity to go for a kill. Cynac Trap is popped up to slow on Lumpin. Going to go in here, and Fugel may go for the full dive. A Meld Strike's going to take him down very low. A couple more hits should finish him off, but Fugel decides to back off, but he could have killed him there, I think. So interesting choice. Fugel a little bit merciful, perhaps. And now Zog on the top lane just continues. 41 for 16 against 20 for 6. He is now doubling up Windrunner. And this is just not looking good for Extreme Dota, even though they did pick up the better end of that exchange in the bottom lane. QT are looking to be the better half of all the farm. Look at this. Top 3. The next closest is Jungle Chen at 23 for 0. And an aggressive tri-lane that turns into a safe farming tri-lane. It's not all too often we see this, but now Manel going to look for an opening. He pops off a stun on Riksu. He's going to get stunned himself, though. The good stun from Chen is going to get both of them. Splitter to follow up on the back end of it, and a sun strike or a light strike away. Disruption pops off on Manel to try and keep him alive for a moment. Muz is going to come in here. Lumpin's going to pop off a Meld Strike, try and finish off Riksu, but Riksu's going to back off, and now Regeneration is popped somewhere. Where is Lanaya? She's in the middle lane, going to finish off the tower here. So they have to look for a trade. Manel goes all the way back to base as Chen sends him back there.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Now Fugel's able to finish out that middle tower. So the first tower of the game going to go in favor of QT in round 2, the semifinals of the Go for Dota Friday Night Cup. I am your shoutcasting host, NYJohn. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all the viewership. And be sure to follow me if you like me here. We have QT versus Extreme Dota. And in game 1, Extreme Dota was able to pull out a 50-minute victory, turning the game around to take the fight to Smiley Face. Smiley Face certainly looking like a promising team in their own regard. Just not able to finish off here, but Warcry has popped, and it looks like they're going to rotate in here, trying to get a kill going. Manel is running as quickly as possible, but the sun's going to come out here. Actually, they're going to go for Headhunter. Instead, he tries to pop a disruption on himself. It looked like he's going to get it off and save him for a moment. Muz taking a lot of damage from the tower. The light strike array now perfectly timed, but the split earth is, and down goes Rubik and these Shadow Demons. So Rubik dying on the middle lane to Templar Assassin at the same time, and 2 kills for QT, who now take over the kill lead 7-6. They will lead this one. And now Templar Assassin is not afraid in this middle lane, can afford her Blink Dagger now as well. And there it is, going to pick it up and have it delivered to her. It just looks like Fugel is in full control of this game. We saw this happen last game. Templar Assassin, towards that late early game, the middle game phase, just becomes too much of a menace to deal with easily. And ends up taking full control over and leading the game to a victory in her favor. And we'll see if the same can happen right now. As with that Blink Dagger, Fugel may try and get involved elsewhere. And we see the Iron Branches have to be taken away by the Courier, as Fugel is above the Iron Branches now. In the middle lane, Headhunter has come up here in definitely a bad spot. Now Fugel is going to make him pay for it. He's going to have to pop off the Disruption himself just to live a moment longer. Chen does come in. He's going to try and get rid of the Refraction. But two more hits. Headhunter's going to drop. And now Chen's in a bad spot as well. Does have a Soul Catcher on top of Fugel, but Fugel probably could turn this around. Chen doesn't have all too much damage. No mana for a Test of Faith as well. Decides not to, though. Respects the Chen. On the top line, it looks like Lumpin plus Ecto going to look for a kill opening on Lone Druid, who was just farming away to his heart's content. Has 2,500 gold now. Has the Orb of Venom as well as boots and a Stout Shield on his bear. On his hero, he has Tranquil Boots. So going to be working towards that Radiance with no delay now, but Lumpin in trouble now. The Telekinesis to try and toss Fugel away. Headhunter's coming in. He's going to put Disruption on top of Fugel to try and slow him down a little bit, but Templar Assassin does not care. He jumps into Shadow Meld. The bear, can he get the entangle? The one-hit entangle, and Headhunter is dead. Down for the count. The Meld Strike finishes him off, and that makes a killing spree for Templar Assassin. Lanaya 3-0-1. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, Ecto is down there by himself. The stun comes out. He has enough mana for one win run, but the chain stun takes him down. And now the tower is going to be focused down as well. And QT in full control. Not the slightest doubt in my mind. 11-6. And Extreme Dota looks so good in the last game with that Templar Assassin, but is being turned around onto them by QT. And now Lumpin just going to try and get some farms somewhere. We can see levels once again. I hate to emphasize this point, but Rubik is level 7. The other solos from the enemy team are level 11 and 10. That is a huge difference. And I know some people think level 6 is only the big thing. You have to pick up your level 6, but 6 to 11 is another huge gap. And we can see 7 to 11 is just as big. Well, let's check out our kills. We have 4 for 2 on this last track, 3 for 0 on Temple Assassin, like we noted a moment earlier, and 3 for 1 on Chaos Knight. So Chaos Knight not having the worst time, but if we look at our last hits and denies, we can see Chaos Knight 18 for 0 at 14 minutes into the game. Definitely where he's struggling, and therefore not able to get up that farm to keep him up in the middle of the fight. He's taking so much AoE damage, whether it's the Dragon Slave coming out from Lina, the multiple stuns, the Edict. It's just a lot to try and cope with. And now smoke up. They're going to try and find an opening on Fugel, but the Shackle will not catch on as he blinks away just in time. And the middle lane's going to be pushed, now brought up by Extreme Dota. They're going to look for this tier 1 tower here. And they have the minions with it as well. Looks like QT are ready for a defense. Muzz going to lead the way. He gets a good stun. He's going to catch 3. And they're in a line 2. And the Meld Strike does so much damage. 3 are dead. 2D pops off the Hand of God. He's going to try and make it out with his life. But it looks like he's in trouble. He's going to get entangled by the bear. And now Manel is the last man surviving for Extreme Dota. But the Psionic Trap wants to change that. The Split Earth comes out and down he goes. A full team wipe from QT. And QT are going to march on and try and take down the tier 2 here. Fugel leading the charge, and that was just absolutely perfect engagement. Sven getting that start off on 3 heroes in a line. The Psionic Blade cuts through all of them. The pure damage coming out from Templar Assassin on the back of the Meld Strike. Oh, they couldn't have asked for a better engagement there. Chen gets the Hand of God off, but it's after 3 of his teammates have already fallen. And now Muzz looking for an opening again, but instead Fugel's going to lead the way. Lumpin's going to be in trouble. The Laguna Blade comes out, and Lina gets the last hit. The splitter comes out on Headhunter, and Headhunter trying to back off towards his base. Chen going to send him back to the well. And QT not going to relent now. If they can get up some of those teamfight items, but Leshrac already 12 charges on a Bloodstone. Oh, but a good Shackle's going to catch Muzz in a bad spot. He's finished up, but Manel's going to trade his life for it. Down he goes to that hit from Templar Assassin. And now Ecto trying to back off towards his own tower. Headhunter comes in, pops off a Soul Catcher on him. Shackle will not catch as off, though. And Headhunter going to get himself into a bad spot as well. The stun going to come out here, the Split Earth, and down goes Headhunter. Not sure what he was thinking. They're walking forward to the enemy heroes. And they have so much more damage output than he does. Now Riksu going to get hit by a Shackle, but it won't catch on to anything. The Power Shot does deal a good amount of damage. Fugel comes to the middle of the fight. Lumpin has to try and back off. He's going to push him back towards him, though, and that's a mistake. Lumpin's going to kill himself by throwing the Telekinesis back towards him. And Fugel does not mind at all. Zog, 2,100 gold in the bag, decides to opt for the Maelstrom, so the AUI 2000 build is preferred at this point instead of
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
going for the Radiance, excuse me, as I'm distracted a moment. And now Az in the bottom lane, 14 charges on his Bloodstone. This is huge. Absolutely huge. And man, you feel bad for him because he's had a decent game. Had to try and circle against that bottom lane. Still hasn't died all too many times. Being in the middle of the fights, it's kind of impressive, but 3 for 3 has no farm. We can see 700 gold in the bank, has his treads up, has Gauntlet of Strength, but there's nothing else, and there's nothing on the way either. So really not looking positive for them. Shadow Demon as its support role, absolutely nothing. Has 7 deaths already. We're only at 17 minutes. We see Windrunner 2 for 2 for 2. She's probably the top farmer on their team if we check out the gold per minute. And we see possible engagement down here. And Windrunner top gold farmer at 214 gold per minute. Definitely struggling mightily. 498 on both Templar Assassin and Lone Druid. 463 on Leshrac. And this game, I'd hate to say it because it's a little bit early. No one has broken into the base, but it's looking like it's over. QT have asserted themselves where they wanted to. The aggressive tri-lane, it paid dividends in terms of getting the CS. It got a couple of kills as too. And Fugal with the DD is going to melt through Lumpin, who's had a rough game. And now Ecto is going to be in trouble as well. 2D is going to get by the Cyanic Trap. A couple auto attacks should take him down, and down he goes. Lone Druid picking up the kill there. Double kill for Lone Druid. Oh, Lone Druid actually in the middle lane gets a double kill. And GG is called by Extreme Dota. That is the semifinals of the Go for Dota Friday Night Cup. Thank you for tuning in. I'm NYJohn. Stay tuned. Finals coming up momentarily. We'll see some disconnects probably come out momentarily. And we do see good sportsmanship coming out from Extreme Dota. They had a good first win, but Ecto in trouble. Double damage still up on Fugal. And Fugal's going to take it down. Headhunter, 2 hits. Down he goes. And Rubik tries to steal something off, but things just didn't go right for this Rubik. And I said it's a little bit of a mismatch, but in all honesty, some of his aggressive movements trying to look for the ganks were a little bit unwarranted, and there just wasn't the opening. It's really hard to gank a Lone Druid with just a Rubik and a Windrunner early on. When he's backed by his tower, the lane's pushed in his favor, so he's on his defensive side. And I think some of those actions from Rubik definitely hurt him, but overall, QT knew what they wanted to do. They executed. QT are a team we're very familiar with here at Go for Dota. They participate often, and we really appreciate it. And every week they're looking stronger as Fugal jumps on Headhunter now. A couple more hits to finish him off. Riksu trying to make it out, but the Demonic Perch will finish him. And they end up getting a kill there. 27-8 is the kill lead for Team QT. Middle Rax drops the Lone Druid. Hand of God has popped off. Manel going to be sent back to the base. And a couple more hits from Fugal. The Sonic Blade may be enough to finish him off. But now Fugal's in trouble. Oh, he's going to drop down. He goes with a good shackle. As going to be Reality Rifted back in. Is there a Chaos Bolt? 2 seconds until that's up. Stun comes out, however, from Sven. And now Manel is going to be turned on. Muzz with that ultimate up, hitting really hard as well. The Bear, however, going to continue to try and do work on Headhunter. We do see Maelstrom coming into effect a little bit there. And now Ecto, will he get entangled? No, it looks like he's going to get back to the base. Stormbolt comes out, but it will not catch him. Smoke popped off. Az and Muzz going to back off a little bit. 19 charges on Leshrac now. He also has his Boots of Travels. But as I say that, the Power Shot finishes him off with a brilliant telekinesis coordination. 2 racks is down. And now it looks like they're going to move towards the final racks. Instant respawn coming out from Leshrac as well. Now the final frontier, the last racks. And it looks like Extreme Dota going to play through to the very end. I call GG again. And once again, we'd like to shout out to every team that participates. You guys make this possible on a weekly basis. Make sure to look and sign up for the Go for Dota Saturday Night Cup tomorrow and the Sunday Night Cup on Sunday, obviously. And get in this action. Lumping going to come in here, but he is just melted. Never stood a chance there. And a huge win for QT. 29-10 inside of 25 minutes. 5 disconnects coming out from Extreme Dota. Well played. And not much more can be said, except QT are looking very strong. We'll see. Whoever's going to match up against them in the finals better bring their A game. QT love the aggressive tri lane. And they certainly are good at making it happen. And now the throne is going to be dropped as the 5 disconnects are up. You can see our player of the game is going to be Fugal, 11 for 1 as we finish it off. And I get a little bit of shout out there. Thank you. So, we're going to have a little bit of an intermission. I'm not sure where the other semifinal stands. So when that is finished, we'll bring you the final action. I'm NYJohn. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Go for Dota Friday Night Cup. Be sure to follow me here on Twitch as well as subscribe me on YouTube at www.youtube.com/NYJohntv. I appreciate all the support you guys are offering me, and I hope you're enjoying the broadcast thus far. And make sure to stay tuned, because there is another big game coming, and QT are going to try and impose their will on another team, and we'll see if that team can cope a little bit better than Extreme Dota.